Okay, let's talk about how to do Pal Jong. Pal Jong in Chi Sau. We'll do it first slow. We're doing Pal Jong, one on top, other in the center. Pin me nice. So you have one on top, one on the bottom, right? That was the one we were looking for. That's the best one. We have Pal Jong with both of his, really kind of using that sideways. It's good the elbows in. If we do Pal Jong with both of his hands on top, then he runs the risk of having this hand trapped when he's trying to do the technique. So that's not the first choice for Pal Jong. So if I have both hands inside, and then eventually on the other, that leaves me with one hand on the bottom, one on the top. That's the nicest Pal Jong, and the proper way to do it, because now I've pinned both hands together, and then I'm going to actually, as I come in, I'm going to keep sticking and try to compress into his body, and then strike, as in contrast to where I come here and then I just go like that. Well, you see, he already brought up his tongue. So that brings us to the next thing. So first, this first roll, we'll do a little bit of Pal Jong, and if I do it correctly, then, and I even stuck to him a little bit. You may not have that luxury in actual combat, if you ever use Pal Jong in combat. But with both hands trapped, then I can go ahead and I can strike him. But if his hands aren't trapped, then he can go to Kwan Sau. And he's going to turn off here and go ahead and do a Pal Jong on me. And here, two things. If you allow yourself to be trapped, then you're really going to have a hard time doing anything. Try and do this. That's not good Kung Fu. Just because you can do it doesn't make it good Kung Fu. So if I feel him do that to me, the first thing I want to do is I want to resist with my bomb. And he wants to try to push straight down on my bomb, but he's not close enough to push straight down. So here, when he goes to come in, if I don't allow this bomb to collapse inward, if he just brings it downward, he hasn't really gained anything because he hasn't trapped my hand. So it doesn't do any good that he's destroyed my bomb because he doesn't have a hand to check me, and he can't do anything with that. But that also, either way, if I'm not pinned, now when he does the Pal Jong, I resist a little bit and keep this away from my body. I bring up my time and I turn off. Now classically you will see people who will show the Kwan Sau this way, which is fine, or the Kwan Sau. For me, I'd rather not turn too much. And what's likely to happen, from here I'm not going to take my hand off and do that. So I'm going to end up in a negative position. I don't want to be there. So what I would like to do is, I'm going to stay here, and then I'm going to probably want to have my next move, by the way, be a Tom mark. Or you could say lop Sau, but most people lop and they do this, which I don't like because it ties this hand up and it often has you turning off. And it leaves that hand free. If he's not an idiot, then that hand is going to rip my head off right now, even though I'm pulling on him. Which, by the way, just to make sure this is completely digressive, which leads us to using forward energy. When he tests my forward energy by pulling with both hands on my wrist, which I'm sure he's going to do at some point. Now, do I turn this way? No. When we test our Doy Ying, which we probably need to do a short video if we haven't, we test the Doy Ying, I have to go forward no matter what he does. I have to maintain my center line no matter what he does. So when he pulls, I'm going here. So if somebody lops you, you're going to get this from somebody who's been really minding their P's and Q's. You're not going to get this. Now that face took me years to perfect, but that's the thing about turning into a lop Sau. So when it comes to Pal Jong, he wants to come in, he wants to pin me, and he wants to strike. And when I block, to save my butt, see how it came loose? I can either do it as a Kwan Sau classically, or I could come up with a Bill G type hand here, and then keeping this bomb off of my body instead of letting it collapse, because that's no good. And I'm sure he could find something to use it for and destroy me that way. But this way is a lot harder. Now when he goes to take my tongue off, he's either going to get this or he has to do something. So he's going to turn it. I'm going to give him a lot of energy, and then I'm going to release. And there he goes. I'm not going to go this way, but I'm just going to take it off and then strike him. I got a pin. I have him turned off, even though he does have good Wing Chun. In a real situation, he probably would have that happen if I could turn on and off my energy well enough. Now, that's what I call complex digression, but a lot of goodies in there. So I hope you enjoy them. And